is Geek Squad with your girl at the Beer Breach Room. Good evening to you from wherever you are listening to us, whether you are in your car, on your way home, wherever. Thank you for making time to join us. Tonight, we are going to continue our conversation on how you can back up your digital life. We know that we all live in a digital world now. From taking pictures, we are using our phones and our emails, putting things online, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, or X. All these things are online, and there are times that you just feel a need to have that information stored, kept well, so that at any point you can access it. And that's why we're going to continue our conversation. We started 2 weeks ago, we couldn't finish, but then we would like to finish, assist people. I think something really came up when it has to do with being able to transfer from one phone to another. We'll be having all those conversations tonight. So just get ready and stay tuned with us. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Breachum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. Just before we got ready, Evans spoke about his email, and we are going to have that conversation because we know that there are times that you are using your mail and for a reason you have notifications that your mailbox is full and you'd have to delete some messages or do whatever necessary so that you can be accessing new incoming mails. We'll be talking about that. But before we do that, we just want to do a recap of what we spoke about last 2 weeks. I have my guests ready and we are going to go ahead into the conversation tonight. I'm joined by Richmond Abu. Richmond, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to be here.
Yes, good to have you back. We want to talk about how we can back up our digital lives. As I indicated, we started the conversation last 2 weeks and we want to do a quick recap. So, for someone who couldn't join us last 2 weeks and we're having this conversation now, why is it even important for us to think about doing backup? We can just quickly touch on that and then look at some other areas before we get into the different things that we can look at backing up.
Okay, so to talk of backup, what is backup? Backup is just keeping a copy of your data. That's like your pictures, your video, your documents away on a different medium, storing it on a different medium aside where it's originally created. So assuming you have it on a pen drive, you have it on a PC, and you try to store it on an external hard drive, that is you backing up there whilst you have the original copy too. And it's very important to back up your data in case there's a cyber attack or maybe there's a system failure, a hardware failure, or any other thing that could happen, a theft. At least you can have a copy of that file there, and you wouldn't find yourself wanting when those situations come up.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned for you, you have a special way of doing it. Can we just touch on that?
Well, I have the format we call the 321
Yeah.
format. So always have your data on 3 different storages. Now, 2 of those storages should be on site. That is, let's say, on a hard drive, on pen drives. So 2 different pen drives. So if like you have an important document, you should have at least 2 drives that you store the same document on, and then one should be off-site. That is in the cloud. So 3 ways to store: 2 on-site, 1 off-site. That is mainly the cloud or on a remote computer somewhere. Yes, so that is the 321 format.
321 format. You don't have to keep the photos or anything that you're looking at backing up on just one type of storage, but it's good to have it on a different device and then also on the cloud so that at least you can have access to it. If you're joining us, we are talking about how you can back up your digital life. This has to do with your photos, your emails, anything at all that can be stored digitally. That's what we are talking about. You can reach us on the WhatsApp number 055 1111997. If you have any questions, you can reach us on the WhatsApp number 055 1111997. I'm having a conversation with Richmond Abu, and we've looked at the importance. one of the things I remember we spoke about was that, and I remember we were making this example with grandmother very much the last
Yeah.
time. You've taken the picture, you want to keep these memories, so it's just good to have the backup of them so that if anything happens, at least you are secure. You don't have any issues at all. So talking about backing up, I think it would be good for us to talk about the different aspects of things that we can look at backing up, and then we can get into more details like when it comes to WhatsApp, when it comes to emails, documents, how we can touch look at the different things and the systematic way of doing the backup for them. Yeah, I think we can start with anything that comes to your mind. WhatsApp, email, we can just start with any of them.
Well, I'll start with WhatsApp because that's what almost all of us use recently.
Yeah.
Even though we all have email accounts, most people their primary mode of communication lately is via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll start with WhatsApp. WhatsApp backup, I think, is quite simple and automatic. You get onto your WhatsApp, and even when you don't do a backup, it even prompts you all the time that you need to do your backup. So you can even schedule a 1 week, a 1 month, or daily, the way you feel like you're okay with it. Now, WhatsApp backup works in two ways. We have the local backup and then the off-site one. So the on-site is on your device where it backs up. It creates a folder for itself and backs up its data. So when you go to that folder, if you are the type that who likes to explore, you and use especially Android phones, you can go into the folder and see the files that you've shared, the files that were sent to you, and all that. And it creates a
But that thing
special.
can take space too.
Yeah. And you see it creates a special file and it has an extension like .bc something something something. Those are your backup files. So anytime you want to migrate from a device and you don't have a solid internet or a good internet, you can just move that entire folder from that old phone to the new phone, and you can still have your files. As soon as you install WhatsApp, your files come through.
So let's break that down. I'm sure somebody probably may be listening to us. If you say move it from your old phone
Okay.
to your new phone, can we go through that process? How
So
that can be done?
one, you can connect to the computer. That's the easiest part. You can
Yeah.
connect to the computer. You check your file explorer. You get to see the folders there. You see the WhatsApp folder. If it's WhatsApp business, you see the name WhatsApp business. So you just copy that entire folder. Maybe you put it, copy it onto the computer, or if the two phones are connected, you can just drop it onto the other phone's explorer file. Maybe the storage there, and then you just leave it there. So when this is done copying, and you begin to set up the WhatsApp detects that, look, there's a backup
It's a
file
backup.
in this phone. So okay, do you want to restore those backups? Yes. Okay, you can just go ahead, and then when you approve it, it just brings back the old conversations and then the pictures, the videos that you've shared over the years.
Everything that
Now,
you
if you are if you're a cloud person like myself, it's always in the cloud, so you don't need that um, whole file moving. All you need is to just enter the details, and then after you enter your email, it detects that, okay, there's a backup on this account. Then it just restores it for you. But that consumes a lot of internet, especially if you've been backing up for years.
That's when you're saving it on the cloud.
You are saving offsite in the cloud.
Okay. Okay. So I remember you mentioned something that you had a tough time when you had to move from, I think, one type of device to another.
Yes, that's when the challenge comes when you are moving how do I call it, across the OS operating systems.
Yeah.
Moving from Android to iOS. I had that experience, so I was moving from Android to an iPhone, and the experience, I realized that no, you can't copy the backup that you have on your Android phone, like the way I mentioned it earlier,
Directly.
onto the
Yeah.
it will not work because the file systems are different and
Yes,
the
that's
extensions
it.
are different.
Yes.
So it wasn't working. So I realized that, okay, iPhone has this app they call Move to iOS. Yes, I use it. It didn't work for me, but it works for some people anyway.
I've tried it before. Though.
Yes. So you install the Move to iOS on the iPhone and also on the Android, and then you just connect it over Wi-Fi. It transfers all the files and data and everything to your new phone and changes the WhatsApp backup extension for you to restore your backup. For me, yes, I have all my documents from my Android phone to my iPhone. I didn't lose a single document.
Okay.
Just that I wasn't able to do my WhatsApp backup
Okay.
restoration. But I have all my files, including the WhatsApp backup that's on the other phone. right on my iPhone. So anytime I want to restore it, I can still go ahead
You can
and
do
do
that.
that
You
restore.
can do that. I mean,
Yes.
in talking about the backup, it's just essential that there is the automatic backup that happens like on a daily basis.
Yes.
But it's also good that anytime someone would like to move their or change phones, let me put it that way, and they would like to move their information, they would have to try and do a manual backup again
Yes.
before they move. Because there are times that between the time that maybe the automated backup happened and when you actually do the change of phones, you
Yes.
are likely to move some.
Yes. For backup is very
Yeah.
important. So before you even think of moving phones, do your backup first before you go to the manufacturer or the operating systems software that they provide to move the files. Do your own backup, maybe on a computer, on a hard drive, or anything that you feel like you are okay with. But as I said, always use my 321 format because that way
But
it
let me
saves you a
ask you,
lot.
how come you had an issue with that? Because you said you had stored yours just in the cloud.
Yes, my WhatsApp backup,
Uh huh.
it's both in the cloud and on the phone.
Okay.
Now, um, when I was trying to do backup, I moved everything from that phone to the cloud. Then I was like, okay, no, iPhone must have something. I went to check. I was like, okay, move to iOS.
Mm.
So I did all that with the hope that since my backup has been moved from the Android phone to the iOS,
You
when I
shouldn't
installed
have
the,
any
yeah, I shouldn't have
issue.
any. But when I did it, the charts didn't come.
Yeah.
So
I encountered that issue, but I realized that it was working fine for the previous WhatsApp versions. So
okay,
what I had to do was actually get the previous
so
WhatsApp
you
versions.
downgraded.
I downgraded, make sure I got my information
Then you are.
before I went back to upgrade to get
Yeah, maybe
together.
maybe the new version at that time was when I
Yeah.
was having issues. Because to the extent that I even went to iCloud, copied the backup file, pasted it to my iCloud, and downloaded it back to the phone, but still it didn't work.
It was giving you a problem. Okay, but those are some of the ways when it comes to WhatsApp backup. At least you need to check that your automated backup is on,
Yeah.
and this one, anything can happen at any point in time. Your phone, you could have an issue with your phone, so do check if your automated backup is not on. At least you'd need to have that on. I think it would be a good idea to just even take people through that, how to check the WhatsApp chats backups, so that at any point in time that is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with WhatsApp backups on iOS, it's always quite simple. So you just tap on the gear icon, that's the settings icon, and then you go to
And it will be something similar on the
yes,
Android as well. Yeah.
yes. So you go to the settings, and then you go to charts, and then immediately you get there, you see chat wallpaper, all that, and you see export chat, and then a chat backup.
Chat up. Yeah.
Yeah. For chat export, I also like using it, especially for sensitive conversations. Let's say I had a conversation with someone, I would like to have a backup of that conversation just for future reference. I do the chat exports, and then I can select the person's chat, and then I export every data. And then the chat backup, that one, it goes directly to the cloud. So when you get there, you get to see even when the last time when the chat was backup, the size of your backup and
Yeah.
all that. And then you can select if you should include videos or not. And then you can see they have backup now and you have auto backup. So the backup now is you manually pressing the backup at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So with the auto backup, you can select daily, weekly, monthly, or off. And I wouldn't advise you to select the off because then you don't want to have your data when you are switching phones or when in the event where your phone gets stolen,
Yeah.
or maybe there's a hack somewhere.
Yeah. So definitely it would be good to go to the auto backup, have that set up. Daily will be recommended.
Then at most weekly.
Yes, daily will be recommended. At most weekly, you should be fine at any point in time. If you need to move phones, at least you can do the manual backup by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can reach us on the WhatsApp number 055 How do you back up your digital life, your photos, your videos, emails, anything at all? We'd like to hear from you. You can reach us on the WhatsApp number 055 I'm having a conversation with Richmond Abu, and we are talking about how you can back up your digital life. So we've spoken a bit about WhatsApp. I think it's a good time to talk about the emails.
Okay.
Yes. documents that are sent. It would be good for us to just even touch on mails, especially Gmails. Almost everyone now would have a Gmail account, and it's simple to use. But then we want to just touch on how people can manage it in terms of how they are receiving their mails when it becomes full, how they can back up and all that. So it would be good for us to just touch on that.
Okay, the Gmail is quite tricky,
Mm.
but there are so many easy ways around it. If you are using a computer, you can configure your Gmail account in Outlook. And when you do that, it becomes very easy for you to do a backup.
When you say in Outlook, it means
A
I'll need
mail
to have.
client, a laptop,
Yeah.
yes. But if you don't have that, the other way to go about this is use a service called Google Takeout. That way, it backs up your data. You can select the emails that you want to back up, and it goes there. And then you can also have the other option where um, you have a second email. That important emails are being forwarded to that particular email. So immediately those email comes and like, okay, this email is important. You push it to that backup email. So in the event of data loss or you messing out your password or something, or your emails get hacked, you still have that backup email that has your vital mails received. You can also use a Google Takeout, as I said, and also you can integrate. Now you can integrate Dropbox and other cloud storage into the Gmail application. So then files shared in email can quickly be sent, even Google Drive. Yes, Google Drive is right in Google. So when the email comes and it has an attachment, you can just press the, when you hover over the attachment, you get to
Yeah.
see
The
save,
names and
yeah,
with
save
the
to Google
symbols
Drive.
and yeah.
So you can just click there and then your attachments go to your Google Drive. Or you can also automate it to go into Dropbox and other cloud storages that you might integrate with it.
Okay. So just for someone listening and probably does not really have an idea of what we are talking about, I think it would be a good idea for us to just walk through it gently so that at least they can follow us and understand what we are talking about. So can we start again for someone using Gmail? Right now we are talking about on their laptops.
Yeah.
Before maybe later we can go
Okay.
to the
So
phone.
with a laptop, if
Yeah.
you have a laptop, just install a mail client on the. Almost everybody uses Outlook,
But do we need to install that?
the mail client.
Yes.
I think if you're using a Windows machine,
Mm-hmm.
Outlook comes by default.
Yes.
Yes, unless you're using Mac, and Mac also the mail application on Mac also has its own backup.
Yes.
So for me, I would advise if it's your personal machine, then yes, you can configure the Outlook. So you don't even always have to open a browser to even access your email. When the emails come, they come directly and you can access them. Now, when you have that, the Outlook has a backup option where you can click, go to file, and then do the backup. So when it backup, it gives you a certain file with a file extension PRST or something.
Mm-hmm.
So one second, I wrote it here. Okay. So yeah, PST, sorry.
Yeah.
So when you sync, you can just when you configure your email and on Outlook, you can actually do an export, and then it gives you a file with an extension PST, just like Word gives you extension of DOC or
Yes.
DOCX.
Yes. Yes.
This is PST. So you can copy that file and place it somewhere secure, maybe on an external hard drive or something. In the future, when you need those emails that you backed up, you can just come back to Outlook and then restore them, and then you are good to go.
Then you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering if I'm using Gmail, I have access to my details. Gmail has Google Cloud in a way, and so all that is stored there, and I'll have access to it by just connecting to the internet. That's why I'm asking, do I need to have that mail client set up in order to
Yeah.
store my information? Because I was
Yeah,
just
so
on the
if
view that
you
Google Drive would help me.
yes, Google Drive will help you store the files, but not the mail and its contents. So when you use the Google Takeout, that also helps you export your data outside of the web.
Okay. Okay, I now get what you are saying. So if I want to have access to that particular email at some point in time, I can save it. Because
Yes.
like Evans was saying, he right now has an issue where his mail is full, and maybe there are important emails there that I need to save. Then it means I'll have to just move that one
Yeah.
out.
Also, if you are using service like Google and Yahoo Mail, sometimes the advertisements and things are many.
That thing
So
can be.
people need to learn how to segregate their emails.
Yes. Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
and Google is doing a good job uh, trying to help you segregate, and they have the promotionals and the socials and the memes.
Updates, yeah,
Yeah, stubborn people
primary.
like us have decided to take that feature out and just have all our emails appear in
That's what
one.
we
So,
decided to do. No, me, I think I
so
just went by the default what they've done for
okay.
me.
So now you have to sit down and look at the emails like, okay, these are promotions. So your social, if you are connected to Facebook, Facebook sends like 100
Can I
emails.
say something? I think certain things are there. We just need to unsubscribe to them.
Yes, like
You don't
marketing
really need to be
emails.
getting the mails notifications every time.
You know, when you are signing up to platforms, we don't read. So it's like, would you like to receive marketing and promotional emails? You are checking all the
That is so true.
boxes.
That is so true.
So you check the box, they'll send it to you. So when you see that and it becomes too much, just open the email. When you get to the footer of the email, they have the unsubscribe option there. Just tap on it and unsubscribe. Those emails wouldn't come to you again.
It's important, and I think we just have to touch on this because you may probably be having that issue. Your mails are full, and you're just there are certain mails that you would not necessarily need if you've subscribed to Facebook emails and you also have notifications on your phone. Anytime you hear ping, you open it, then there's no need for
Just
you to
imagine you
still be
post a picture on Facebook and everybody is liking or commenting, and Facebook
all
is
those.
sending you emails.
I'm
So
not ready
if
for that.
100 people comment on your picture, 100 emails are sent to you.
That is too much. So please, if you're listening to us, one of the ways that you can, we are talking about backing up, all right. But then, if you have information in your mail, and because of these other marketing mails, and so you would have your mail becoming full, then it's good that you check and unsubscribe to certain emails that are not really serving
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it would be good to do that. We have a message from Kwame Obey. Says, "Good evening. What if the external storage device becomes obsolete? For example, some laptops are not using pen drive now. So said so if I use the pen drive to back up my files, how useful will that be going into the future?" That's his question.
Well, he says it becomes obsolete. You're using a pen drive.
And he's saying the laptop
I use
doesn't
a
use.
laptop that all the ports are Type C ports,
Yeah,
but yes, still there are docks that you can connect
exactly.
to it, and
Adapters, yeah.
then you can still use the cloud if you feel like all those technologies become obsolete and you need third-party devices to connect before you're able to access your files. Then my advice is use the almighty cloud, which I love.
Yeah. And I think we you can just touch on this. The fact that your laptop may be advanced and doesn't have
Yeah,
the pen
and
drive
some of the
ports.
pen drives are now Type C.
That
Yeah,
is also
some of the
there.
hard drives that are coming now are also Type C.
Yeah.
The connectors are Type C ports, so you can get any of those ones and just plug it in.
Yeah. And I think probably he's already saved it on a pen drive, which is not Type C, the USB. For that, you can just get the
The
dock
dock
and
and
then
then
just use it. Yeah, an adapter that can connect directly to your laptop, and that adapter can take the USB port. You can just slot in your pen drive, and you are good to go. So Kwame Obeng, that's one of the ways. Yes, even though it may become obsolete, you can still find your way around it and get access to your information. And as Richmond has said, cloud is also there waiting for you. The 321. In fact, I've had someone send me a message, Emmanuel. He's asking the 321 if we can go over that again because he's not very clear on that if he
okay.
wants to adapt it.
321 is three media. Two on site, maybe two hard drives or two pen drives. Any device, well, advise you use a hard drive. Maybe an SSD drive is more reliable than HDD, so maybe you go for an SSD, two drives, and then one off site, which is the cloud.
Yeah.
So two ways to store, three ways to store, two on site, one off site.
That's it for you, Emmanuel. I'm sure it is very clear now. Three ways of storing your information or backing up: two on site and then one off site. That is just that for you. You can send us your message on the WhatsApp number 055 We are having a conversation on how to back up your digital life. We have a message from Kofi listening inside Amasaman. Kofi says, "Good evening, Geek Squad. When I was switching from Android to iOS, I was able to transfer my WhatsApp chats using the Move to iOS app installed on the Android, but I didn't get the call logs. This is because I had upgraded my iOS software." Okay, okay. At least you have a reason for what happened. So that is good to know. You can send us your WhatsApp message on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997 055 1111 997 11 11 997 055 11 11 997. Okay, so I think it would just be a good idea to, we've spoken a bit about doing the emails backup, and I think one of the key things that we just have to take note of is we're talking about how to at least backup. And with backing up, if you have any information that you realize that, especially in mails, you are receiving them, because we use our Gmails or maybe sometimes even Yahoo to sign up to a lot of things, that you end up getting so many mails coming to your inbox. You can check it. Maybe one Saturday, just sit down, check and see if it's not information that you really need. You can unsubscribe to those platforms so that you don't have your inbox flooded. And I think one of the things too that we can talk about is the segregation. I mean, apart from the default that Google does, the beginning of the year we had a conversation like that. You can place labels on the emails that you receive. And so for important mails, you can have the labels on that as important. Any other thing, you can have the labels for it. The ones that are not so important, you can label them as such. So like Evans's issue where he mentioned that he's having an issue where his mailbox is full. If you know there are some mails that are not so important, you can do away with, then definitely you can just go ahead, clear them, and then you are good to go. You can just go ahead and clear those ones. We've spoken about WhatsApp backup. We've spoken a bit about email backup. I don't know whether you have anything else to add on the email backup.
I think the email backup, just as you said, let's segregate first. Because if even if you are doing backup, you are doing a backup with all the marketing emails that you don't need. So first of all, segregate,
Yeah,
and then now you can backup.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would have to be done. Photos, videos. This time around, it's not on WhatsApp per se. I'm just using my phone to take pictures. So many of them, anywhere I go. What can I do in terms of backing those up so that I don't have any issue whatsoever?
Okay.
Should I lose my phone, or I
So,
have to change?
since the phones are mobile devices, we rarely connect them to even our computer. So I wouldn't touch on you connecting to your computer and transferring. I would rather advise you use
But that
cloud.
option is there
That
actually.
okay? Let me touch on that option first. So when you're back from that party and you know the pictures you have are very important, the best thing to do is connect to the computer and then copy the files. Now you don't, with the way technology, you don't even need to connect it. Maybe through Wi-Fi, you can actually access your file manager on the PC, and then just copy the important files and pictures and videos that you need to have, and then put it on the computer and maybe get them onto a hard drive. You can label that hard drive or memories, and then you have it there. So anytime you come back from anywhere, you copy it, you place it there, and it even helps your phone to perform faster because your phone gets freed of a lot of pictures and videos that you don't watch on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them on the computer and then you put them on the hard drive. You keep them somewhere. In the future, where you lose your phone, you know that okay, maybe almost all my documents is backed up somewhere, so I don't need to worry about it. Yes, you can also use the 321 format for your phone. So it's very important to you. With documents, that is very very important
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you receive most of us keep even our employment contracts and things on the phone,
Yeah.
because when the email comes through, we read the email first on the phone before even opening a browser to or computer to even look at the email. So those documents, I always advise take them off the phone, take them off the laptop, place it somewhere. I have someone requesting a contract that I signed in 2020 asking me today. So if I were not to have a proper backup of that information, I'll find myself wanting. So I'll advise you keep all devices backed up somewhere. And with computers, I think okay, let's do the phone. The phones, you can actually do a full backup of your phone to the cloud or maybe offline. There are softwares that you can actually connect to the phone that can do a full 360 backup of your phone.
Hold your thoughts right there. I want us to get into the details of that. But before that, for you listening to us, you know we all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advance service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is to dial star 506 hash, star 506 hash, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember all terms and conditions apply. I'm having a conversation with Richmond Abu, and we've been looking at how you can back up your digital life. He was going to get into the details of doing some backup on the phone. But before we do that, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
"Shout!" I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Joy 99.7 FM.
Keep this frequency clear.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Brichum. We're having a conversation on how to back up your digital life. And as we're talking about that, we're also looking at the options where you have any kind of information, especially on the mail side, and you feel you would have to back up certain things, you want to access certain things, we would have the conversation on that and get into the details. But before that, just before we went on the break, we were talking about how you can do some backup on the phone. So we'll do that, and afterwards we can look at the email aspect, especially for those who are in the situation that Evans is in and are not able to access their mails. We'll talk about that, how they can clear their mail, have space, and be able to access their mailbox. Yeah, but let's talk about the phone, then we'll get into that.
Okay, so with the phone, when you're using iPhone, that's quite easy because iPhone gives you a 5 gig free storage where you get to back up your entire phone to their servers. Now after that, then you have to pay to have it backed up to their servers. Now, assuming you don't want to back up your entire phone and you want to back up just certain files on it, then you can use other third-party services like Mega.io or Google Drive or any other cloud storage platform. Mega gives about 50 gig free storage. Google gives you about 15
GB.
Yes. So you can choose any of this one, but this time around you'll not be able to back up your entire phone, but certain key documents and files like images, pictures, and all videos and all that to their cloud servers. So those ones can be accessed even on other devices. Unlike the iOS, where if you back up the whole phone, you don't get to have access to the phone's files, but maybe the documents you get to see in your iCloud folder.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think.
And then on Android too, the same thing. Google allows you. Because Android is primarily run by Google, so Google allows you to do the backup the same way. Yes, but that's also about 15 gig, and that also works with your email. So let's assume my email is abu@gmail.com, and my email is there taking space, and my backup on my phone is also taking space. It doesn't take long and then you're
I think for
exhausted.
that one, yes. My spouse mentioned he had a similar challenge because you're taking pictures with your Android phone. All those photos are being stored on your Google Drive,
Yes.
your email, you are receiving messages there. I think it would be good for us to touch on that if someone is encountering such a challenge. Because once my storage that I have, the free space, which is the 15 gig, is full, I'll start getting notifications. I'll
Yes.
not be able to access
Just
my mail,
email.
my images and all that. So can we touch on that? What can be done should I find myself in that position where my free, I'm
Okay.
calling it free space because once you have the Gmail account, you have
You're
15
gig
gig,
for
which is
free.
free. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you find yourself in that situation, the first thing, as you said, segregate your emails. Look through it. Which ones are important? Which ones are not important? Delete.
But you know that at times, you know, Evans mentioned something that he's been told that from like next week or next 2 weeks he can't have access. So what if I can't even have access to it at all?
If you can have access to it, you can still have access to your Google Drive and then Google Photos. And believe you me, most of us, when you go to our Google Photos, some of the pictures and videos, they are very much unnecessary.
Yeah. But what if I'm ready to pay though?
Good. So that's what I'm going to.
Okay.
So I think Google offers one of the cheapest cloud services
That's so
so
true.
far. And you get to even pay in CDs, so you don't feel the pain of the dollar conversion. So I would advise that. Well, I would also advise that just pay for the premium service because it comes with extra perks. I will touch on my experience with Microsoft. So in the height of COVID, during the height of COVID, I reinstalled my computer and I'm using a premium version of OneDrive, which is 1 terabyte. So I have all my files backed up there. And after my setup and installation and everything, I was installing applications. Then I spoke to a friend that this application, I'm not having money to pay for it. So can he give me a cracked version? I was like, oh yes, I'll get it for you. He sent the file. I downloaded it. I installed it, and the ransomware attacked my computer.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we usually say. Cracked
And-
versions of things.
Yes,
Don't
and
go
that's
for
why
it.
I pay for everything now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ransomware, and immediately I got an email from Microsoft saying that they felt, when the files back up to the download to the computer, and you edit them, they still go back to the cloud. They sync back to the cloud.
Yeah.
So when the file was going back, they said that no, this is a ransomware extension. So they stopped the transfer.
The backup.
The backup.
Okay.
Then they sent me an email. There's a suspicious attack, and I responded to the email. Immediately I responded. Then they stopped the sync. Now I reformatted my computer, and this time around I got back my original files. Assuming I was using a free service, I wouldn't enjoy that benefit of that security Microsoft gave me. So I think most of the times we should also be ready. We are in a digital era, and everything everything that has to do with quality has some price attached to it. So we should also look at paying for this extra services. Like Google OneDrive also gives you a lot of benefits and other things that come with the paid service that does not come with the free service.
Yeah. So for the Google Drive, with the pricing that they have, you can have access to 100 gig of storage.
Yeah.
That goes for 9 CDs a month. I mean, 9 CDs a month is something
That's Coco and
it's
Kose
Coco.
in the morning.
Yes, it's something that you can get. So if you're having an issue not being able to access your Gmail, for instance, because of storage, it would be good to just purchase extra storage. At least for the 1 month that you have, you can go ahead and purchase the storage, and you have the opportunity to at least get into it, see the things that you need to delete and delete that. I think there's just something more
For
that
me, as long as you are using the service, you always exceed your storage. If you delete even for 1 month, I think the next month is to still get full. So just pay for the service. I think you just pay for the service and you'll be good to go.
you'll be good to go once you do that. All right. We have another message. Okay, this is from Miss H, and she says, I recently purchased iPhone 12, but I'm an Android user. How do I transfer my documents to my new iPhone?
Okay, so you can go to the Play Store and download Move to iOS. Miss H. So go to the Play Store now, search for Move to iOS, and just download it. Immediately you download it. You can connect two phones over Wi-Fi, and you can easily transfer your files and documents and any other thing on that phone onto the iPhone. And with my previous comment, one thing I noticed about Ghanaians are scared using their cards online. Reason most Ghanaians are not able to pay for cloud service. If you are that type of person, you can approach any of those banks in the country. You can get a prepaid card, load some money on it, and then use that card for your online transactions.
Okay, can we just go over the process again for the question that was asked?
Okay, so iOS, Apple has this application we call Move to iOS, and it's in the Google Play Store. Just go to the Play Store, search for Move to iOS. You get the app. I think the icon is even iOS. So just download it and then connect it. Now, when you are resetting when your Android, your iOS is on, you get to see move data from an older phone, and you have the opportunity to select an iPhone or Android. So you select Android. So it connects with the Android phone, and then you can just easily migrate your file and other important documents. You can even select the ones that you want migrated. Then you can easily move it to your iPhone.
That is definitely something that can be done. And we're talking about backing up your digital life. It's not only things on your phone, sometimes even on your social media platforms, you have to look that. Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Brichum. We are having a conversation on backing up our digital life. And I mean, in the studio while we're listening to the quick tech fixes, something just came to mind. The fact that we are talking about intentionally backing up our digital lives. There is an unintentional way of doing it, the things we put on social media, and the fact that maybe some years later, the way we started seeing some pictures of celebrities that they didn't think would be seen by anyone. I think it would be good to just go over what we can do. At least we can start on X and then on Facebook. What we can talk about on X, mainly to just go and check, especially tweets. The way people will put things there, and years later we would have them surfacing out of nowhere. You are standing for whatever position and people are bringing it back. It happened to one celebrity I'm aware of. We just want to touch on that again. Let's just go over that, at least so that people are aware, even as some of the information, because the internet doesn't forget. Once the information is there, at least you should be aware that it's going to be something that can be taken against you at some point in time. So we'll just go over what can be done. And with that, once you are on X, what you'd have to do after you've logged into your account is to type in what I'm going to just read out to you in the search bar. You have to type in this so that you can get the information that you want, and then based on what is there, you can check if you are safe. You can leave it as is, but if not, what you have to delete, then you delete. So what you have to type in the search bar is from FROM and then colon is the two full stops, like one up one down. That's the colon. Then the next thing is username. You leave space. So from colon username, then you leave space, and then you type until. So until UNTIL, and then the year, the month, the date. So the username is your username. So that's what you do there. So from colon your username, then space until. The until colon again, then you basically enter the dates. You enter the year, the month, and then the day in the format Y as in the year. So 1998, you can put in that year, and then the month you put in. If it is March 03, you indicate that, then dash the day, you indicate that as well. If it's 12, you just put in there 1 2, then you leave another space, and then you put in the since, SINCE, another colon, the same format again. Your year will come. If it's 2000, you put in the 2000 dash, then the month will come. You put in the number for the month. If it's June 06, and then the day, you indicate the day. that will also come, and then you enter. Once you do that, you have the information based on what you have put there. So basically, from colon your username, you give a space until the date that you are indicating, then you give a space, and then you give the space, you enter since. So it's more or less like from the username that you are indicating, and then the date from a time to a particular time. You have the information on all that, what you want to do with that, your tweets, pictures, anything that you put there that you feel was wrong, you go ahead and you delete it. Like I said, that's an unintentional way of backing up. So you just have to check so that you're sure. I have my other guests joining us. Samuel, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
There was one question that came, and I think it would just be good to touch on it. If my Gmail is full, what I can do about that? How to just free up the space? It would be good to just touch on that.
Okay, so basically it's easier if you actually people do duplicate account. So create a second account, move
That's
all
the
the
hack.
files, move all the files that you feel like are important to you to that second account, or just look for the free website that gives you the 2 terabytes. Then you can start moving all your files
What's
there.
that free website that gives me the Twitter?
It's called Playbook. That,
Ah,
that was a
that's-
secret I came to drop today.
No, you should
That's
have
why I
said
was
that.
not here earlier. I was doing research on how to find it. So I came in the last minute to give you guys a gift.
And
It's
which
called
is called
Playbook. Playbook. I had to go and see the CEO before I gave him permission. So
Sammy.
everybody can register today and get 2 terabytes for free. Then you can use it as a creative. Anybody can use it, even for coding. And those who even explore the AI, you can connect it to your account directly. And even the Google account, you have an app inside the Playbook. You connect your Google account and you can copy all your files that you need directly from Google straight into the 2 terabytes for free. And it's not a scam. It's
not a
absolutely free. I've been using it for a long time.
Go over that Playbook.
Playbook.com. Playbook.com. They currently have an app also for the iOS, and they're working on an app for Android.
Okay.
Yes, 2 terabytes for anyone who is able to register. It doesn't take any long process.
Okay.
That's a promo code for them tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
So how do I connect that to my Gmail? Can we
Okay.
go over that again?
So get the account, open Playbook. On the section, I think the left-hand side, it shows like a bar. On the left-hand side, you see something called boards. In the Playbook, the boards are like folders. So when you open it for the first time, it might just be empty, like how Google Drive is. If you want to create a folder, create a board, and start storing your stuff in it. On the left-hand side,
you
you
say
see
the word again. It's board.
board, a simple
Ah.
board, like blackboard.
Okay.
Yes. On the left-hand side, you see a drop-down of options. Then you see apps. You see Google Drive in it. Just explore. I mean, nobody will catch you.
Yeah, and Google is
Yes,
your friend.
yes,
You can
Google is your
always
friend.
get some more details on that by searching on Google. Okay, final words from Richmond. 30 seconds.
Okay,
Backing up our digital
for me,
lives. Yeah.
backup is very important. And as I said, use the 321 format. Thank God you have Playbook now. You can connect your offsite backup can be on Playbook 2 terabytes for free,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then your on-site ones can be 500 gigs that you can have in your office or in your house, and makes it life easier. You don't have to cry when you lose your data. You just be smiling because you know you have a backup all
You
the
know
time.
you have a backup. Samuel,
Yes. So for those who don't
20
like
seconds.
online backup, get a lot of SD cards, plenty. You put on your phone, you save your life story, you move it to another place. Keep doing that. So whenever you need to go back, you can just easily insert it in your phone. And
You
for
can
those
have
for those
access-
using Apple, I'm sorry.
we don't
now-
do SD cards.
Now you can put an
They do
SSD to your
iCloud.
phone, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much, Richmond and Samuel, for joining me this evening. We've had a conversation on how you can back up your digital life. Just in case you missed the majority of this, you can get more details on our YouTube and Facebook pages at Joy 99.7 FM. This has been your girl, Adobia Breachum. Up next is news by Michael Ashali. Right afterwards is Overdrive, so stay tuned.